Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity. My name is Jay and today I'm going to be doing a tournament recap, or basically some Batreps but with pictures. I sort of envision this being, you might listen to a podcast and the host will talk through some games that they've had and that kind of thing. I sort of imagine it being like a YouTube version of that. Obviously at the tournament I'm not going to film, but I did take pictures and I'm going to like illustrate it and that kind of thing. But essentially I went to Weekend Warlords yesterday, which is Sunday the 20th. I don't know when I'm going to release this. And yeah, had a great time, great venue. A bit out of my way, it's about an hour and 40 minutes, but it was all fun and all that kind of stuff. Before I start doing the back rep, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, please do consider doing that, as it really does help. And yeah, like the video if at the end of the video you like the video, and comment if you want to. So let's go on to it. I'll show you how we're going to do this whole thing. I'm just going to get rid of my face. I know how beautiful it is, but I start the day with a McDonald's. It's essentially my classic tournament plan. It's just the thing I always do. You can even see the grease on the bag, which is very disconcerting here. That orange juice I end up spilling all over the car seat because I'm an numpty. But yeah, that's the start to the day. I set off maybe like 20 to 8, got there about 10, so it was all okay. Obviously I stopped off at McDonald's. First game of the day, this was the table setup, so I'll go through my list in a moment as well. This is before anything went down. I'm playing a gentleman called Tom. Everybody I played obviously incredibly lovely, but my list, which I'll sort of do it on this screen just because I can. I never used this list before. I'm playing in an online league and a gentleman beat me with it, so I was like, I'll try it. It's Pulp, 2 units of snow troopers with they both got frags, intel upgrade, that's actually my Royal Guard, but 2 units of snows with frags and intel, recon intel, 1 full unit of Royal Guard, 2 DLT troopers, 1 naked trooper unit, and then I'm essentially rocking 3 2-man scout units with the saboteur upgrade, which essentially is the interesting part of this list, I guess. My opponent in this list is running Leia, a nice model he had for Leia, Chewbacca, 2 units of fleets. I think these are Wookiees. My blurriness of pictures is very upsetting and is a trend that will continue, and I'll try and do a better job next time. I think these might be, I think these are actually just Z6s. He does have a unit of Wookiees somewhere behind there. I think it might be 4 or 5 Z6s. Well, it can't be 5, can it, because of the fleet, so it might be, I think it's actually 3 Z6s and 2 sniper teams, which are hidden behind there. And then he's got 2 flamers. Now, when I saw this map, I was like, oh, that's bad. There's quite a lot of places that's going to get, be able to get to. But it doesn't really end up being that way. So we'll go on to the next picture I've taken. Wow, what a great picture, Jason. Basically, it's the advanced positions, clear conditions, and it was intercept the transmissions. That's how good some of my picture taking ends up being in this whole thing, but I've hopefully deleted all the blurry ones. So this is how I deployed. My deployment is essentially like this, but you've got advanced positions. So yeah, I put 1 unit of snows here. My idea here is he's got some units up here. I essentially just wanted to like walk here, maybe double move here and flame if I could. That's not necessarily how that transpires. This naked unit here, the object, it's intercept the transmission, so there's 1 here, and there's 1 over here which you can't properly see, but there you have it. The nakeds are just going to go stand there and do nothing. Now the saboteurs, I didn't really know where to go. I possibly should have sent them around this direction. Well, I'm doing a very bad arrow. But yeah, it was really tricky to deploy them, so instead they're just all in the middle for some reason. I don't know why I put them there. I think just because I'm out of line of sight of pretty much everything because there's so much terrain. A DLT unit here, a snow trooper unit here. I think the other snow trooper unit is possibly behind here. Oh no, it's over there, isn't it? So that's that one. But another DLT unit is here, and I think that's about it. Got my Royal Guard and Palp there. And you can see up here, he's got his ATRT here and here, which was a very interesting position because there's not actually room for him to come through this gap. So once I noticed that, and I'll just clear that off so we can have another look. In fact, I might just change the colour to a sort of bright blue. But once I noticed that he can't get through here, I think, well, he's going to have to go this way. And maybe, I mean, I'm not sure he could even get through here. But once I noticed that, I'm like, right, everything I have is going to try and go this way. Now, obviously, this way into open terrain, I'll show the other side of the table in a minute, is pretty bad. But there's so much, like, not scattered, but so much terrain that it's not going to be too bad for me. And obviously, this is where the objective is. So if I'm on this side of the objective, I'm looking pretty decent. Yeah, that was the game plan, and it sort of does transpire a little bit like that as we go on to the next one. So there's these two ATRTs, as I said, a little bit pinned in here because of just the terrain. I think there's not exactly like room over here. He's got a unit of scouts here and a unit of Z6s here. I think there's a unit of Z6 possibly under here. Fleet troopers here, just so you know. And then on the next image, what do we have? What am I showing you here? This is the left side of the table. So you can see up on here is where the transmission is. Now what he does, and he admits this at the end of the game, essentially he moves his Z6 up onto here and keeps his sniper here as well, which he claimed was a mistake. And I do sort of agree with that because I wasn't really planning on threatening it at any point. And he's essentially wasting the entire unit of fleets. If that entire unit of fleets was over here, I would have had a little bit and a lot, well, I would have had a lot more difficulty like clearing everything over here. So that was a fortunate thing for me. Leia's here, Chewie's here. I think this is the other sniper team that I talk about. Essentially just end up moving under here and shooting me for days. But nothing I could do there. Z6 is all under here, that kind of thing, and the fleet troopers there. So yeah, that's that. This is turn one basically. I don't necessarily take a picture every half turn or whatever, but first turn I do entire legion and palp, give it to everybody, and he does coordinated bombardment. So I do apologise, some of the pictures are blurry. As I said, this is sort of going into turn two, and you can see like quite a chunk has happened, but I'll obviously go through it. This unit moved out. When these snows went from here to here, they actually took a shot at these snipers. No cover line, straight between that gap there. And I killed these, apart from the fact they had stims. So I managed to get another shot on the next turn and then die. But I was pretty happy with that as a result. This unit of ATRT that's moving up, it wants to try and kill everything here. Or maybe even flank and kill these snows. And well, you know what I mean, kill these snows or come around and maybe threaten the objective. If I was him, I literally would have just double moved and just been threatening here, because then I would have had to have gone this way around and then maybe something could have like shot. But once he'd committed to that, it doesn't end up quite working like that. The other unit of the other ATRT, it gets stuck under this bridge, but this is range 1, so he if he gets to move and he does actually get to flame my Royal Guard here, then there's not much I could do to stop it. But you'll notice I've pushed up from my snow troopers to here with a double move. I did that last. I'm doubly suppressed because I think by the time I did it I got doubly shot at. Fair enough, there's a unit of Z6s here and a unit of Z6s here and a unit of Z6s here, so all makes sense. You can see my sabs, everything that was here has now moved here. I essentially just going to keep pot shotting at the ATRT with this unit of DLTs, which is slightly under this bridge, this unit of DLTs. Now, one of my sab units, I decide that I'm going to just have to go all the long way around, and then maybe try and plant a bomb here. But before I did that with one of these units, I planted a bomb here. It doesn't have impact, the Imperial one. It actually has suppressive, so it's much better against troopers, but he actually decides not to walk over this with this ATRT. He like goes the long way around. I think I would just flat out ignored it and gone straight over it, but there you have it. And then going into turn 2, my entire plan here with this flamethrower unit is to move and flame, which works pretty well because there's not much going to stop it because I'm going to get one action. Palp is hidden underneath here. You can't really see it, but that's essentially the beginnings and not the end of turn 2, but the beginnings of turn 2. Just another angle here, you can see Chewie and Leia's moved up. Have I got the right pen there? Chewie and Leia has moved up. This unit Z6 is moved up to here to get into some cover. The snipers by this point are in key position just to keep blasting me all day. My DLTs here are just trying to get good because they were getting hard cover, so sometimes my DLT literally wasn't going through because it was getting stopped by cover. But yeah, that's the left side of the board, and you can sort of see the conditions maybe a little bit better. I will get a bit better with taking the pictures, so do forgive me on that one. My flamers, they moved up, shot that guy, shot that unit. I think they only had that. I think it's that unit, that guy, and maybe another guy I wanted to palp them to get another flamer off, but before I could do that, I think the fleet shot me. So that was that. There's the fleets probably shooting me pretty much dead. Dead to rights there from the fleets. Turn 3, that's the end of that turn. Basically, I just moved up. You can see here, I've killed this ATRT. You can see with my Royal Guard, I'd moved to here. And what I did, they had a unit here, didn't they? Well, it's actually this guy. So I double moved, got the charge in. Didn't need, I think I might have palped it. I'm not 100% sure because I couldn't palp the flamer. And then they withdrew because there's two guys there. I'm not sure you can necessarily see that. They withdrew, leaving my Royal Guard there. I'm not convinced that the withdraw was the best thing because I'm basically just now next turn going to charge this unit. But there you have it. The Sabs have moved up. The Sabs have moved up here. So now I'm in position to drop bombs, do all kinds of funky stuff. I'm here. He's gone the wrong way around past this bomb. My snows are still up there. These guys are just whittling away. Well, they killed the ATRT, and the Sabs are in position to like do something interesting. So that's the end of. Well, it's not the end of turn 2 or 3, whatever it is. We only get to turn 4. In fact, on pretty much most of the games, I don't go beyond turn 4. So that's just the way it is. Here you can see just a better angle where the Royal Guard are. Maybe where the Sabs are. Palp, I think, is still under here. It's essentially the same layout. He's just moving up. Leia's not doing too much. Chewie's moved into position to get a couple of shots off on this unit, but I'm not too worried about that at this point. And that's just showing where my snows are. Nothing really interesting going on there. Yep, and then you can see that's, I think, sort of in turn 3, my Royal Guard, who were killing this unit, now just moving to this unit. Dead to rights, blast them pretty much straight off the table. The ATRTs took a wound, you can't see it because it's behind there, but withdrawing just meant that the Royal Guard got another charge off, so possibly wasn't the greatest move, but pretty decent. I think they might have said this was his first miniature war game, and that was sort of the trend. A lot of the people I played were actually relatively new. I'm not sure, I don't want to knock Tom because he was still a good player, but I don't want to claim like I'm a mad genius or anything here. Nothing really going on in this picture. It's pretty much the same as last. You can just see some of my units are like whittling down a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's not going to matter, I don't think. Turn 4, I do with one of my unit of Sabs, which is here. I plant a bomb here. Well, it may be not from this guy, I can't remember exactly, but I plant a bomb here, which just had line of sight to both those guys, killing the bat guy, causing 2 suppression because it's suppressive. And I did have a rules query. This guy was in combat, but I made it so this was range 1. But my guy wasn't in range 1. And no, we think that's legal, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody could confirm. So basically, 2 suppression on him, killed a guy there, 1 bomb, pretty happy. The bomb there coming out doing some pretty decent things. Very blurry photo, not sure quite why I've left that one in. Yep, no idea. You can see my ATRT's dead, but not a great picture. What's happened there? I think I've planted another bomb, just so I can try and kill this guy next turn. But I obviously don't want to blow it up just yet because I'm also in the way. And you'll notice that what I did here, and you can see the bomb, but you can't necessarily see how it got there, was I moved, planted the bomb, and then pulled the strings on my saboteurs so they came back to here, which is a pretty decent maneuver. I really like that. You can see the fleets are up here and claiming that point. So the end of turn 2, I had 2, he had 1, and then we find out turn 4 is going to be the last game. The last round, so we play it like that. We sort of knew that was coming once. There was 2 hours, so there wasn't very long. And basically, now once I know it's the last turn, I play and now you will die. Move Palp up, double moved him. Literally I had 1 attack on this unit of fleets, pretty much killed them all by the leader. But I'm really going for that suppression and the immobilize. The immobilize means they're not going to be able to move. The suppression means they will only get 1 action anyway. They're just not going to be able to kill enough. They're not going to be able to move in range of the objective. You could, if you take the snipers off, you could, yeah, fair enough, you'll get 1. But I've got all my saboteurs and all that kind of stuff. And pretty much that's the end of the game. It's the end of turn 4. I get the middle objective and I get the one on the right with the naked stormtroopers. And nothing else really happens. That is literally the end of the game. His ATRTs didn't really do enough. And it was one of those things, the Sabs, when you get them in the right place in the bomb, pretty decent. And Palp, obviously, if he's in range 2, can literally annihilate things. So that's the end of game 1. We'll pop into game 2. I realise this is seemingly to take a long time, but there is actually, I'm only really going to talk about 2 games fully, because Game 3 we'll get onto, and I'll explain why. So game 2 against Kevin, who I take is a very good X-Wing player. Hadn't played many games of Legion, so a lot of this was like me telling him the rules and stuff like that. And in the process of that, we forgot to play limited viz until like the end of turn 1, so we just agreed to just not bother because too much of the game had gone by. Battle line's pretty interesting. Recover the supplies. So the terrain was probably the most important thing in this game. And you can see the first game had a lot of terrain. The second game, not that much terrain at all. Now, the one things I want to highlight here, there is a door here, a gateway, and there is a big gateway here. And the recover the supplies is essentially going to go here, 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 and here. But this wall, absolute pain in my bum. I'll go through my opponent's list. He's got 2 ATRTs, one with the rotary blaster and one with the laser cannon, I think. One unit of snipers, Han, Chewie, and then I'm not sure he's necessarily got Z6s, but I think maybe so. But yeah, that was his list. Let me clear this off and go on to the next one. You can see here where his tokens are, here and here. I say his, he placed them. This is the one in the middle. And then we'll just go on the next one, and you can see where I placed my 2, which is really awkward because there just wasn't that much terrain, but I didn't want to leave it too far from the middle because I wouldn't be able to pick it up, so I didn't want to go over here. And yeah, this is a very awkward place, so I really just needed to dominate this entire half of the table, but this entire quadrant. And with Palp, that was the plan. You want to try and get him so he's bulked up in the middle. And that's hopefully what we were doing. So with the way we've deployed, I've got my 2 Sabs here, Naked Stormtroopers here, DLT, DLT, Snows, and I actually forgot to place my Royal Guard, but you know, I moved one thing and then we placed them, and then the Royal Guard just go here. And the plan was I wanted to get in here as quickly as possible. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to jump over this, spend 2 actions to jump over it really riskily, and then I'm just going to move up here and go through that doorway with that unit of Snows. For these boxes, I'm sort of just hoping to kill these guys as quickly as possible. And then have free reign here. But the one problem he's got here is rotary blaster coming up here. Now he's probably, you know, this ATRT right over here, probably an absolute waste, doesn't really do too much. Now if these ATRTs, and I don't think he knew the rules, but I wasn't necessarily going to suggest it because it would probably lose me the game. If these ATRTs just came straight over this wall, spending a full turn to get over it, I would have had a lot of difficulty controlling that. They wouldn't have got injured either, I don't think, so, and they could have got over it in like 1 turn and absolutely just annihilated anything that was here. Well, maybe not the laser cannon one, maybe that should have come over here, but yeah, that would have been the risky play for me. And I've got 1 unit of saboteurs here on the left. My entire plan here is just to move here, throw some bombs, and just try and slow everybody down who's going to come through this gap here. And yeah, so we'll go on to the next picture, which is not sure what I've showed here. I've done an entire region. I do that every time at the start just because I don't know what else to do. You can still see I've not quite put the Royal Guard on yet, but he does. Here they are, the Royal Guard are on here now. So yeah, I jumped over. I think I lost 2 guys, which is fine. I lost 1 guy on the first one and then 1 guy on the second one. The Snows, they double moved to here, I think, taking pot shots while they could, and then I pulled the strings on them in here to get them out of line of sight and that kind of stuff. Which was pull the strings really handy in this game, not gonna lie. And you can see the result of one of my bombs, or it might have been 2 bombs because there's quite a lot of suppression here. But yeah, my Saboteur did a fantastic job. Turn 1, moved up, planted a bomb, and then he didn't die at the end of turn 1 because he was just out of line of sight. So he didn't die at the end of turn 1, and then in turn 2 he planted I think what I actually do is move again and plant another bomb here to get his snipers in, which you can see how his sniper has been injured as well. So that bomb kills me. That bomb kills, well, it kills one of those guys. It would have been really interesting if I killed another guy, wouldn't it? Kills that guy, kills one of those guys, but it's just everybody is suppressed here. The Wookiees do not rally their suppression, even though they've got the red dice, and that means they can't like double move in. They actually were down to just 1 action. Over here, I'm not having a great time. I was struggling a little bit with these units here. My Saboteur moves up here just to get out of range. The idea being here, maybe I want to go... I don't actually know what I'll do. Maybe I was going to go under here and hide. But you can see this ATRT killed one of my Saboteurs straight away. I was really struggling to pick these up. It was just not a great place for me. Just not enough terrain for me to pick them up, I guess. And he's committed a few units where I didn't commit any units. Royal Guard moving up, DLTs, just obviously waiting to get some shots off over there. And yeah, next turn, well, this is the big turn. So you can see big change there. So what happened, right? On the previous one, you can see where the Royal Guard are, see where the snow troopers are, and then boom. Well, what happened was my snows, they moved into the box, picked up the box. Palp pulled the strings, moved them to here. So I've got that one. Royal Guard, they just went from here, double moved into this. I think now's my time. Both my saboteurs go forward, plant a bomb, just in line of sight. That saboteur forward, plant a bomb. Couldn't quite get these guys in range, so you can see force suppression on these guys and they panic, but they do not go off the board. The ATRT, I think, kills one of my guys or shoots at these. I can't remember exactly, but at this point I'm touching this objective, though you can't quite see it. These guys are panicked. The ATRT is still a bit of trouble, but it's now within range of everything. This unit's coming round, but it might be a bit too slow. So I've got the center one. I'm going to have that one soon, and that's essentially how this game's going to play out. But we'll show you. Very blurry photo, I do apologise again. Still suppressed, ATRT moving round, but it's sort of too little too late at this point, and this is turn 2. Again, we only get to turn 4, and we weren't going slow. It was only a 2-hour time limit, but just the way it was. There weren't allocated tables, and it was a little bit awkward to get started, but that's just one of those things. The Royal Guard pick it up. You can't quite see. The Royal Guard pick this up, and we're going to move to here. This unit's going to move down and then hide. You can see I'm plinking away some wounds on the ATRT. Better shot on the left hand side here. Everybody's suppressed. My snows, who don't have the objective, I decide that it's probably too late to get out and be useful over here. So I'm going to come over here and try and set some Wookiees on fire, which doesn't necessarily pan out, but it was the plan all along. I think I'm just playing assault here. You can see my snows moving down. You can't necessarily see my Royal Guard, but they're getting a couple of wounds on them from, you know, that Z6 unit up there, but nothing too interesting going on. My guy didn't rally his suppression, just this what he got shot at, so there was one guy left. I had one suppression. I wanted to double move into him and just try and slow them down, but instead he just moves there and still slows them down a little bit, but not exactly like a great deal or anything like that. And yeah, the back unit there, suppression, I think I might have thrown a bomb onto them. Pretty interesting. He got the one where you can't move, I think, when it, on the resilience value, but before anything happens it pretty much goes off the table. They eventually rally the unit in the top right there. You can see on the left side, Han, Chewie, really not doing anything here. They're in the wrong position. They're too slow to the party. I've done a jailbreak, done a heist, got in the middle, got out. The Royal Guard have moved down. They're going to pick this up next turn and then move away. The ATRT is dead. The Z6, the DLTs have killed it, and they've rallied in the top right. That unit of Z6s now going to have to come out if they want range, because I'm running away as quickly as I can. I've picked that one up, picked the box up there, not yet moved away, but again we only get to turn 4, but you can see the plan here is just to flee. It's probably a better picture of the same thing. I threw out my naked trooper units just to get a bit of range, a bit of distraction. These guys are coming round, and I was a little bit worried that he might eventually kill this unit, so I dropped the box, but because he probably would have won on points because I just fled and not really lost anything. But once I'd got that, this unit just picked up the other boxes, got 2 of them there. They're not going to die. The only risk was this one, but there just isn't really enough to kill them. And that's essentially the end of the game. That we got to call it there. This trooper unit just not got enough. I mean, they're only going to get 1 action, so they're not in range. They're not in range. The ATRT was in range, but it's not killing it, not doing anything there. So there you have it. That is game 2, and really that's essentially the end of my tournament. Because game 3 I played Nikki, and Nikki is literally just a class above me. Just absolutely much better. Like, there's so many mistakes in these games from all players. I'm on their kind of level, whereas Nikki and Ellis, my teammates in the online league, absolutely different, like stratosphere to me. Deployment, I couldn't stop disarray, and that's really going to punish me. Game 3, we play in key positions, so there's one here, and it ends up being in the box on the other side. But the disarray, he's got 6 DLTs, 3 snipers, Vias and Bubba, and eventually I'm not really going to do anything in this game. So in this bottom left here, I deployed my 2 saboteurs. I'm like, right, he's going to deploy here. what I'm going to do is just try and be a bit tricksy, cause a bit of shenanigans. This unit here doesn't really, even if they kill one guy, I'm like, I'll still get to come out, plant a bomb, or come out, plant a bomb. And yeah, I didn't really get a chance to move. I moved here, and then I didn't plant the bomb because I was like, oh, I'll get another turn. Now that I'm out of sight, I'll get another turn. And really, that was the problem. I got strongly punished. I deployed in that top right corner, which is all well and good. He's got snipers in the bottom right, which I can't really do anything with the snipers unless I send an entire unit over there, so I'm okay with that. These sabs, I was like, well, what I'll do with these sabs is, oh, I didn't mean to do that on the screen. Hopefully I can get rid of that. Oh, no, game, don't do this to me. Let me close that again. Yeah, these sabs, I was planning on just going like up to here and then maybe dropping a bomb, but I forgot the snipers though. I just really limited that, so couldn't really do that. Blurry picture because I've gone off it now. This game 3 was a nightmare all around. He pushes up, kills my saboteurs, literally pushes up with everything, which I was sort of happy about when I saw it, because I was like, oh, I'll get some free shots. I just couldn't kill this flame trooper unit, and his shooting did a lot more than mine. I was in light cover, but his shooting was just doing so much more than mine because he like was concentrating his fire at the right time, getting every unit in. Bubba's up here. I didn't shoot Bubba because of his incredible save, and I just didn't play like particularly well, and he is the master. He just knew every single movement is precise, and essentially I'll just play it through quickly. He just whittles me down, and then I go home. I concede at like turn 2 because it's obvious I'm not going to win. That's my dinner on my way home, and these are the 3 of us at the end of the game. This guy here finished 3rd, Nikki in the middle finished 1st, and Ellis finished 2nd. So I was pretty happy to take 3rd, but these two guys just in a different stratosphere to me, and which is interesting in a sense. I'm happy to have them because it means that there's like really strong competition. But like in my last 2 tournaments, I've gone 2-1, and I played Ellis in the last game and won, and Nikki in the last game and the other. And I'm sort of happy with my playing. Like, I'm all right, but these guys just an absolute step above, and it definitely showed there. So the game 3, bit of a blowout for me. I just got whittled down. The snipers just did everything to me that he wanted them to do. His shots were just better shots than what mine were, and I was like, there's a couple of things I could have done differently. Maybe I should have deployed in the other corner, kept everything hidden, kept it as just one blob, and then just double moved the sabs out and stuff like that. But I didn't do it. Nicky's a much better player than me. I said that to Nicky. I was like, you're a much better player than me, and he's like, no, it's just practice and calculating things better. And I was like, oh, something like that. And I was like, that's the thing that makes you better. I'm not saying that maybe I can never be as good with enough practice or what have you, but as of right now, Nikki is a much better player than I am, and so is Ellis, so that's just the way that goes. Great day overall, though. Really enjoyed it, and big shout out to my opponents. Big shout out to Weekend Warlords for hosting the event. I had a great time. Yeah, that's it. That's it pretty much. It's weird because I finished 3rd, but just on strength of schedule, basically, because I was 2-1, and I'm like, that when I started, that's sort of where I wanted to be. But now it's like, I want to win something. I want to try and win. The saboteur list, if you use them properly, they can be super strong. Like, if you just get one, like maybe you have 2 units and you can put bombs in right in the middle of their army. Maybe that's 4 suppression, 2 hits on each of them. With blast, it can be really strong, but I think snipers are just more consistent. You just know what you're getting with them. They're always going to be doing something, unless you get shot off the board turn 1, but you want to try and hide them, that kind of thing. But with the sabs, I think are possibly a little bit nuanced. Finesse, as Ellis calls it, and I think maybe Palp is also a bit of finesse as well. But overall, I never played that list before, never played Palp, never played the sabs. I rocked up 2-1, 3rd in the tournament out of 14 players. You know, not gonna complain. If you like this video, do let me know. I realise I've gone on a little bit. This is a 30-minute long video. I do apologise for that. But you got 3 sort of mini Batreps there, so I'm not too bothered about it in 30 minutes. We'll have to live with that. Hopefully you enjoyed it, though. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you'd like to see specific lists that I could maybe run at an event. I'll happily, pull it out just randomly. And yeah, hope to see you at an event if you're in the UK or, further afield. Like the video if you like the video, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Other than that, guys, have a most beautiful day, and goodbye.